My name is Adriana Keller, and last month I stood in front of 40 new employees during orientation and recognized 3 faces from college. They sat in the back row looking confused about why the CEO knew their names. I smiled and welcomed them to the team, without mentioning that 7 years ago, they called my business a cute hobby I would eventually abandon. I didn't need to say it. The org chart in their welcome packet said everything. College was supposed to be about finding yourself. I found myself in my dorm room junior year, designing jewelry from recycled materials. It started as stress relief during finals. I would twist copper wire and old watch parts into earrings and bracelets. My roommate wore a pair to class and 3 people asked where she bought them. I made more pieces. Sold them through Instagram for $20 each. It felt like playing business, not building one. My friend group found it amusing. There were 5 of us: Maya, Jessica, Brandon, Thomas, and me. We met freshman year and stayed close through late-night study sessions and weekend parties. They were all business majors planning corporate careers. Maya already had a consulting internship lined up. Jessica networked relentlessly at alumni events. They were serious about success. I was the creative one, the artsy friend who made things with her hands. They loved me but never took me seriously. Senior year, my jewelry sales hit $2,000 a month. I was working from my apartment, shipping orders between classes, reinvesting everything into materials. I mentioned maybe pursuing it full-time after graduation. We were at dinner when I brought it up. The table went quiet. Then Brandon laughed. He said I was joking, right? Jessica said it was a nice side hustle, but not a real career. Maya suggested I should get a real job and keep jewelry as a hobby. Thomas said nothing, just smiled into his drink. I felt my face burn. I asked what made their corporate jobs more real than building something myself. Maya explained patiently, like talking to a child, that businesses need infrastructure and scale. My little jewelry operation was cute, but it wasn't a company. It was crafts. Jessica agreed. She said I was talented but romantic about entrepreneurship. The market was saturated. I would struggle for years and eventually give up. Better to be realistic now. They meant well, I think. They just couldn't see past their own limited vision of success. I graduated with a degree in studio art and a business minor. Everyone else started corporate jobs. Maya went to McKinsey. Jessica joined a marketing firm. Brandon landed at a Fortune 500 company. Thomas went into finance. They posted constantly on social media. Office photos, happy hours, business casual outfits. They looked successful and adult. I posted photos of jewelry and worked from my kitchen table. The contrast was obvious. They were building careers. I was still playing with wire and beads. But something happened that first year. My Instagram following grew. Small boutiques started requesting wholesale orders. A lifestyle blogger featured my work. Sales jumped to 5,000 monthly, then 8,000. I hired my first employee, a part-time assistant who helped with packaging and shipping. I moved production out of my apartment into a small studio space. It still felt small, but it was growing. Have you ever been underestimated by people who should have supported you? Drop your experience in the comments. Year 2 brought unexpected momentum. A celebrity wore my earrings to an award show. She tagged my account. Overnight, orders flooded in. I couldn't keep up. I hired 3 more people. We worked 16-hour days fulfilling back orders. I launched a website and invested in proper inventory management. Revenue hit $30,000 monthly. I was paying myself a small salary and reinvesting everything else. My college friends noticed. They sent congratulations messages that felt slightly condescending. Still proud of your little business. Good for you. I stopped posting about work on social media. Not out of spite, but because I was too busy to perform success for an audience. I focused on operations, product development, and hiring. By year 3, I had 12 employees and revenue approaching $1 million annually. We expanded into sustainable home goods, ceramics, textiles, all made from recycled or ethically sourced materials. The brand became known for beautiful design with environmental consciousness. Press coverage increased. We were featured in design magazines and eco-lifestyle publications. Year 4 was transformative. A sustainable products company called Evergreen Holdings reached out. They acquired smaller brands and provided infrastructure for scaling. They wanted to buy 60% of my company for $3 million. I would stay on as creative director and president. They would handle operations, distribution, and finance. It meant losing some control but gaining resources I could never build alone. I accepted. The deal closed in 3 months. With Evergreen's support, we scaled aggressively. Opened retail locations in 5 cities. Expanded the product line. Hired a marketing team. Revenue hit $15 million in year 5. The brand went from niche Instagram business to legitimate lifestyle company.
Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Turn on bell notification to stay updated for more revenge stories.
I was featured in Forbes and Entrepreneur magazine as a founder to watch. My title changed from founder to president. I managed a team of 40 and reported to Evergreen's CEO, a woman named Patricia, who became my mentor. Meanwhile, I heard through mutual connections that my college friends were navigating corporate life. Maya was a consultant, but burned out from travel. Jessica's marketing firm was going through layoffs. Brandon felt stuck in middle management. Thomas complained about finance hours. They had stability, but not fulfillment. I had built something I loved that was actually working. The dynamic had shifted quietly. They just didn't know it yet. Year 6 brought another opportunity. Patricia was retiring. The board wanted to restructure Evergreen Holdings. They would merge several subsidiary brands under unified leadership and appoint a new CEO. I interviewed along with external candidates. My track record was strong. I had grown my brand exponentially under their support and understood their business model intimately. After 3 rounds of interviews, they offered me the position. CEO of Evergreen Holdings, overseeing 8 brands and 200 employees. At 32 years old, I accepted and began transitioning immediately. The role meant moving to Seattle, where Evergreen was headquartered. It meant hiring new executives. It meant shaping company culture and strategy. One of my first priorities was talent acquisition. We needed strong teams across marketing, operations, and product development. I worked with our HR director to recruit experienced professionals. We posted positions and reviewed hundreds of applications. 3 names appeared in the applicant pool that made me pause. Maya Chen, marketing strategist. Jessica Torres, brand manager. Thomas Wright, financial analyst. My college friends were applying to work at my company. They had no idea I was CEO. The company name was different from my jewelry brand. The connection wasn't obvious unless you researched thoroughly. Their applications were strong. Qualified candidates. I could have rejected them quietly. Instead, I had HR move them forward in the process. They passed phone screens and manager interviews. All 3 received offers. Orientation day was a Tuesday morning. I planned to welcome new hires personally, something the previous CEO never did. I wanted to establish an accessible leadership style. I prepared brief remarks about company values and culture. 40 new employees filled the conference room. I spotted Maya, Jessica, and Thomas immediately. They sat together in the back, probably seeking comfort in familiar faces during the overwhelming first-day experience. They didn't see me yet. I was standing to the side reviewing notes. The HR director introduced me. Adriana Keller, Chief Executive Officer. I walked to the front of the room. Maya saw me first. Her face went through confusion, recognition, then shock. Jessica's mouth opened slightly. Thomas looked like he was solving a math problem that didn't make sense. I smiled warmly and began my welcome speech. I talked about Evergreen's mission, how we supported sustainable brands and empowered founders, how every employee contributed to positive environmental impact. Standard CEO orientation remarks. Then I did something deliberate. I mentioned my background, how I started my career making jewelry in a college dorm room, how people told me it was just a hobby, how I built it into a company that eventually brought me here. I never looked directly at Maya, Jessica, or Thomas while saying this. I didn't need to. They understood perfectly. The cute little business they dismissed was the foundation for the career that now made me their boss. I finished the speech, welcomed everyone again, and opened for questions. Silence. No one asked anything. After orientation, Maya approached me. She said she had no idea I was CEO. I said the industry is surprising sometimes. She mentioned we should get coffee and catch up. I said I would have my assistant check my calendar. Professional and distant. Jessica sent an email later asking the same thing. I replied that I was focused on Q4 strategy, but appreciated her reaching out. Thomas said nothing, just avoided eye contact in the hallways. The following months were instructive. Maya was competent at her job. Jessica exceeded expectations. Thomas performed adequately. I treated them exactly like every other employee. Professional feedback, fair evaluations. No special treatment, positive or negative. I never mentioned college or their comments about my hobby business. That would be petty. My success was statement enough. They saw my name on their paychecks. They attended company meetings where I presented strategy. They understood the reversal without me explaining it. Brandon never applied to Evergreen. He stayed in his corporate role. But Maya must have told him because he sent a LinkedIn message months later. Congratulations on the CEO role. Always knew you would do something big. I didn't respond. Revisionist history from people who doubted you isn't worth acknowledging. They had their chance to support me when it mattered. They chose mockery. Now they worked for the company I led. That was closure enough. Running Evergreen changed my relationship with success. At first, I wanted to prove the doubters wrong. I wanted my college friends to see what they missed. But standing in that orientation room, I realized their opinions never mattered. They were wrong about me, but that didn't make their approval valuable. I built something meaningful because I believed in it. Their doubt was just noise I had to ignore along the way. The company continued growing. We acquired 3 more sustainable brands. Revenue reached $80 million. I hired a senior leadership team I trusted. We made Forbes' list of most innovative companies in sustainability. Press interviews asked about my journey. I talked about starting with jewelry, about believing in your vision when others don't, about building businesses that align with your values. I never mentioned my college friends by name. They were footnotes in a story about persistence, not villains in a revenge plot. Maya, Jessica, and Thomas still work at Evergreen. They're good employees. We're cordial in meetings, but we're not friends. That bridge burned when they chose to diminish my work instead of supporting it. I don't regret the distance. Some people earn places in your success story. Others are just witnesses to it. They witnessed. That's all they get to be. The jewelry brand still exists as part of Evergreen. We've expanded the line significantly. My original designs are now museum pieces, archived samples of where everything began. Sometimes I visit the production facility and watch artisans create new pieces. I remember sitting at my kitchen table twisting wire by hand. I remember my friends laughing. I remember choosing to keep going anyway. That choice made everything else possible. Success isn't always loud. Sometimes it's just showing up to work every day as CEO, while the people who called your dreams a hobby clock in as your employees. That's soft revenge. No confrontation needed. Just org charts and business cards. Just growth that speaks louder than any comeback line ever could. They thought I was playing. I was building. The difference became obvious eventually. It always does. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel to watch more revenge and inspiring stories that will make you excited. Like this one. Where are you watching from? Drop your country in the comments and let us know what you think about this story.
Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Turn on bell notification to stay updated for more revenge stories.